What's up, guys? Here we are, Monster Motivator TV number 31. I'm excited about this episode today because it's going to be a little different. We always like to bring the entrepreneurs that have been killing it out there, making changes, creating a difference in their community. And there's a lot of great value from those people, right? Because it's all wisdom. And I'm a big believer that knowledge is unorganized information, but wisdom really comes from real world experience. But we're going to share with you today, I'm going to introduce you to this amazing, amazing woman, Cyndi Lemki, because she's just now starting her very first business. First one, right? Very first business. She's always worked for somebody, and she's a mom of 4,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Been married how long?
Almost 19 years.
Almost 19 years. I won't tell them it took a second to think about it. But she's actually finally making that leap. And I'm really, really excited to be a real small part of this journey. I really connect with Cyndi. We connected because at the end of the day, whether she's been an entrepreneur for 30 years or she's just starting out, what I love about her is she has the DNA, right? It's the whatever it takes mentality, and that's what I connect with, because anything else, I'm just allergic to. I want nothing to do with it. So she's just starting out. It's a online marketing, digital marketing company. So we're going to share with you how to get a hold of her a little later on. But before we do that as well, I just want to share with you Monster Motivator TV. For anyone that doesn't know, we're a mobile live stream TV show that's going to come to you and highlight local businesses, entrepreneurs making a difference in their community. And if you could please share this if you're getting value and show us some love, we'd love to hear from you. And I'm going to try and bring this up on my phone, but let me have Cyndi introduce herself. Where'd you come from? Where are you at today? And where do you see yourself going? So jump right in there.
Okay. My name is Cyndi Lemki, and I've been working since I was 14 years old. So I've always had the gumption to work hard and make things happen. And the safety of working for others, where you know it's going to happen, you know you're going to get paid, you know. But I tend to want to have that safety net, and this last couple of months I've learned a lot from you, Dave. And the thing is the whole fear barriers and inspiration and perspiration, I wanted to kind of give that back to myself and my family.
Okay.
I have 4 kids, like you mentioned. I have 2 grandkids, 2 more grandkids on the way.
Grandma?
Yes.
What?
Yes, absolutely. And
okay.
And I also have my mom and my grandma that live close. My grandma lives
I know
with
you're
us.
very, very, very family oriented.
Yes, and the thing is with my own business, I can have time to take care of my family and still commit to excellence for my business and helping small businesses get to that next level.
Okay, so let's go back a little bit, because we're really going to dive into that, because I know we've talked about that, me and you. So once you got done school, what did you do? What did you have a career at that time when you got done high school?
I actually had a son, graduated high school, and got married all in the same year.
Okay.
So I had to work when we were young.
Okay.
And
what did you do?
I was in retail for almost 20 years.
Okay.
And actually, that was probably one of my favorite jobs. I worked for Kenneth Cole.
Okay.
I was a training manager. I started out as an assistant manager and worked my way up. I would travel the country to different stores to help open or train managers, product knowledge. And Kenneth Cole was an inspiration also.
Yes.
The man himself.
The whole story.
Absolutely. So, I was working.
So when you started with Kenneth Cole out of high school, what did you do? Just as a cashier? How did you start?
Yeah, no, because I'd already been working for a little bit. I started as an assistant manager.
Oh.
So, I have a tendency to be able to
take charge. But that's why you're where you're at.
Yeah. So, everything from customer service, no matter what industry you are, no matter what you do, who you are, the service that you provide is everything. It has to be the backbone.
Okay.
And I think that's why we did so well as a team when we were training, because we were looking for people that customer service was always a smile on your face, leave your problems at the door. You got stuff to do. You got to get in there and get it done.
You're representing.
Absolutely.
Right? You're representing. So I have to imagine the training and the real experience created an awesome resume for you? You know, and I'm not talking about an actual resume. I'm talking about a real world resume, meaning you had to have learned so much from communication with customers, problem customers, and then also employees. Would
Absolutely.
that give you a good foundation?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and the thing is so Kenneth Cole's policy was customers always come first and they're always right. So the thing is you have to make sure that when you're running a business that you're not going to drop out the bottom because you're giving everything away, but
Right.
you want to make sure that people trust you and they'll be loyal to you. And I learned a lot as far as customer services because, you know, you start out with just shoes and you go to handbags and clothes and jewelry and perfume and you can learn everything and just go with it.
So is that how they train? You start in one department?
Well, when Kenneth Cole started, it was just shoes.
Oh.
And then he grew his business into everything.
Wow. Wow. Okay. So, I mean, give you an unbelievable foundation for, and then also, what kind of skills did you learn with employees and dealing with employees? Because you know that's probably my hardest obstacle because all my business has really been subcontractors because I hate to babysit.
Yeah.
I don't have the patience. But what kind of skills did you acquire?
Well, you know, as a young mother, I think that I always thrived when my children were successful. So it was always, I was always really pushing everyone to, you know, I wanted to know what they wanted to do, whether they were going to go to school, if they wanted to move up in retail, did they want to be a merchandiser, what did they want to do so that I could help them on that path.
Okay.
And holding them accountable for what they want to do.
Okay.
So training meant everything because when they win, I win. When they get promoted to a store of their own, I win.
Okay.
When they have to give me their notice because they're going to school, I win. You know, so I kind of take pride and help them achieve their goals because that made me feel good.
Okay. All right.
So
Good.
you kind of you go on that little journey with them.
Okay. And then you were with Kenneth Cole for 20 years?
No. I was in retail for 20 years.
Oh.
I was I don't know, 8, 10 years. It was a long time.
Okay. And then you stayed in retail?
I did.
And I know you're a people person. That's how we connected
Yeah.
through networking.
Mhm.
Because I'm the same way. I need to be out of the office. I need to be on the go. That's what I love about Monster Motivator TV, a new place all the time. So now you're moving along with your career, but you're also building a family. Share. There's people going through that right now, right? What are some of the struggles and what are some of the things you learned from that? I mean, it's got to be a laundry list.
You know what? It's a really long laundry list, but I'm going to tell you, my mother and my grandmother, my parents and grandparents were a very strong part of my life.
Okay.
Are still.
So a foundation.
Absolutely. But the one thing my mom, you know, a young mother, that doesn't mean anything. You still have to take care of everything
The
on top.
responsibility.
You know, so you're not hungry, you're not tired, you're not
Right.
sad, you're not depressed. You have to just get up and do what you got to do because there's other people relying on you.
Right.
You know, so there's no time to worry about how you feel or what it looks
Yes.
like or what
Yeah.
you have to then again, like with the employees, for you know, my achievements, my goals, everything I did was for my family. You know, my 2 older kids are adults, you know, and I'm really proud of them. And my 2 teenagers, I am so blessed. They're,
Okay.
you know, it's amazing the structure that we have. And my husband is very supportive of what I need to do and what I want to do. And but family has taught me that tomorrow's going to be here. And no matter what, you got to get up and you got to get shit done. I mean, you have to. You
got
There's no choice.
And what that does too, and tell me if you feel the same way, is it takes you out of the equation, so it kind of takes the pressure off of you, and your focus is now on them, your business, and what I love about, and I knew this even before airing, your why is bigger than you. And I know when your why becomes bigger than you become unstoppable.
Yeah.
Like you just said, you're having a bad day, you don't have time.
Yeah.
There's no time to actually have a bad day,
Right.
Because you just need to get it done.
Yeah.
Do what it takes, figure it out. And I believe, my personal belief is that's what really built this country for the generations of your grandmother, right? And before, because they had no time to complain and cry and want. They had to eat,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
They had to actually eat. So 20 years after retail, what did you get into? What did you do then?
When I left retail, I decided that I didn't want to do retail anymore, and I decided to get creative and market myself
Okay.
into something, just a different field. I didn't want to work nights, weekends, holidays.
Yeah,
I didn't want,
okay.
and that's
Yeah,
retail.
yeah.
You know, you have to do that for them. And
Yeah.
so I kind of restructured my resume, and I went into operations, because that's all the same things that I was doing anyway. It's human resources, it's
All the
hiring,
back end.
firing and training, it's SOPs, it's making sure that everybody has what they need to be successful.
Mhm.
So I was hired at Plaque Smacker. It was a dental distribution and sales
Plaque
company.
Smacker.
Plaque Smacker.
I love that name.
And that was, I was there for a year, and
Okay.
it was really a great experience. The people I met were amazing, and which is another reason why I love Facebook, because I'm still connected to people that I've worked with.
It's social
You know,
media. I mean,
wherever.
it's right up our alley.
Yeah,
It's
absolutely.
It's right up our alley.
Yeah,
So-
but so I'm strong-willed,
Mhm.
kind of talk a lot, have things to say, and
Type
sometimes
A
it just,
personality.
you know, sometimes that just doesn't fit in the right spot. It wasn't the right spot for me.
Yeah.
It just
I
wasn't
get
a
it.
good fit.
I get it.
So then that's when I left that company and went to Saboa Casino, and that was my first taste of marketing.
Okay.
So again, I kind of looked at my resume. I have skills, and I can do anything. You can train me, you can teach me, and I'm gonna fly, because I want to be successful for you, for me, my family. You know, I can do anything. So it never scared me to try new things.
Right.
So I went to Saboa Casino as an admin for the marketing department. 2 weeks after I got there, the sponsorship coordinator moved on, and so they gave me sponsorship coordinator. So basically all of the nonprofits, any events that were happening, just getting out in the community, I
That-
was like, that's awesome.
That's perfect. I'm going to go back though.
Yeah.
Where do you think that? See, what you just said is a huge point that I want to get across, because I'm the big. Besides the fear barrier guy, I'm the self-image. I believe is everything, right? We can build our self-image up, we can tear it down, but we can't outperform it. So the way you just described yourself, you a very, very strong self-image in that world, right? Whatever it is, give it to me, I'll learn it, I'll figure it out, and then I'm going to run with it so everyone shines. Where did that come from? Because a lot of people are looking for that. And if you don't have that, you're so far behind, right?
Yeah.
So where did that come from?
My family, I guess.
Okay.
Well, you know,
really?
well, because the thing is, you know, my family is my community, and we don't do anything alone.
Okay.
You know, so my being raised, and you know, my parents took in my cousins, and who's my sister and my brother, and
But did you hear a lot of support?
always.
All right, then share. I mean, that's where, because at the end of the day, that's what makes you or breaks you,
Mhm,
right?
mhm.
And then as you're growing up, because your a little kid's subconscious is like a sponge. They're going to believe whatever you tell them,
Yeah.
good or bad,
That's true.
right?
Mhm.
And then they're going to own it. Then it's going to become part of their story. Then when they become adults, it's up to them to either change it, enhance it, whatever that is, because now that's their journey, right?
Mhm.
They're adults. So what are some of the things that you remember hearing that's positive growing up? Because it's so important. I mean,
well, you know what? It's a little embarrassing, because I was an only
now
child.
we got to hear it.
I was an only child, and
Okay.
my mother she always made me feel so proud, like that she was so proud.
Yes.
Like, I mean, I could literally do anything and be like, oh my God, you're so amazing.
You know who's got the same story? Gary Vaynerchuk. His mom told him from day one, he said that when he first learned how to tie his shoes, she said it was the most perfect bow she ever saw, right? So he took that with him, that he's never going to lose, right? And it's not, understand, losing and failing are two different things. Failing, you're going to learn from, move on. Losing, you gave up, and you're not gonna move on.
Yeah.
That's my definition of it. So it's so interesting that how important that is as a little kid, right? Because it's such a double-edged sword. it could have went the other way,
Yeah.
right? It could have went the other way. And not only that, it's magnified 10 times over because you're their whole focus, right? So that's, I mean, you're their whole focus. And look, I can tell by your facial expressions how good that makes you feel, right? Because, so that, to me, as a parent, I'm not going to sit here and tell people how to be a parent, but as a parent, that's probably the greatest gift you can give your kid is a self-image, a self-esteem, the inner confidence, right? To know that you can get it done. And I'm telling you, a little side story here. I was talking to Cyndi, and we were texting back and forth, and I was looking at some of these programs and different things, and I don't learn, right, through a webinar. I don't learn in a book. I learn applying, right? That's how I learn. So I had said to Cyndi, listen, I'd like to talk to you about maybe partnering on something like this, but I don't learn this way. She goes, oh, I got it. She goes, I'll just take notes, I'll write it down, and then we'll mastermind. And then I go, see, that, to me right there, that's the perfect fit. When you're in business, right, you want to look at that. Always identify your strengths so you can run with them, but enhance your weaknesses so you don't have that void, right? And I always look at businesses in reverse.
Yeah.
What are my weaknesses, right? My weaknesses are your strengths. My weaknesses are the back end, right? Keeping everything in order. And that's why Kate, right? I told her I'm going to put her in a boatmobile so nothing happens to her, right? Because she keeps everything, I make her crazy, right?
Yeah.
But she keeps everything on the back end clean. Let me just run, right, with that. So, so now you're out of the retail world. You're into you're in the casinos. How long were you at the casinos?
About 5 years.
Okay.
Five or 6
So
years.
what are some of the golden nuggets that you learned? What did you learn out of that? Because that's going to tie into what you're doing now.
Well, I learned a lot. You know, marketing in general is you got to be out there. People got to know who you are, what you do, where to find you. And part of that strategy has to be you out there talking to people.
Branding 101.
You know, and the thing is but it's a handshake. It's getting out there. It's letting them know, getting involved in other people's activities, other people's events, supporting other people. You know, marketing doesn't have to be about me. Marketing can be supporting Dave and what he does, and Lori and what she does, and, you know, Chris and what she does. It has to be a whole community coming together, and that was huge for marketing. And I think people kind of take that for granted. It can't be everything because you have a business to run and you have things to do, but you have to be top of mind, and part of that is being involved in the community.
Right, but then at the same time, right, as a business owner, when you can warrant that, and it makes sense, but you still want to be able to do all that, then you just have to figure out who you position to go there. And what you just talked about is what I love, right? It's the guerrilla marketing. It's the networking, it's the shaking hands, kissing babies, the whole bit, right? I love that. That's what really got Bully Burgers really off the map in this area. But what I also love and what I'm learning every day is social media just maximizes that, right? It just completely maximizes that. But we're going to talk about this a little later. I just want to kind of touch on it though, and we did discuss this. What you're going to really bring to the table and what you do bring to the table is there's a difference between being on social media and branding and marketing your company on social media. It's two different animals. But so Saboba Casino, then what?
Then I went to a nonprofit and I was director of community relations for a local animal shelter. It was, oh my gosh, just amazing. Amazing what the people will do to support, you know, our furry friends, and that they come together. And
but so you actually learn the back end of a nonprofit. I mean, that's huge.
Yeah, I learned a lot. I learned a lot. You know, just there's so many things that we don't know. You know, and the employees. I wish that there was a way to take care of the employees, because those people, blood, sweat, and tears, perspiration, inspiration, like those people give because of a bigger reason.
It's from their heart.
And they need to be taken. They're amazing.
Right.
The Ramona Humane Society employees are precious gems in this community.
Yeah.
And any oh my God,
nonprofit because it's come from the right place. But then on the flip side, right? That's where understanding how to build a nonprofit correctly bringing the sponsors on that can pay.
Well, and that's the thing is you have to run a nonprofit like a business.
Yeah.
You know, you
Right.
have to have administration, you have to have operations, you have to have a way to train and teach and replicate that system over and over again, you know, and when you do something for a long time one way, change is really hard.
Yes.
So again, my personality,
Right.
you know, who I am and what I do, it wasn't a good fit. I loved everybody there and cherished the time that I had there, but it just wasn't the right fit for me.
Because, right, you have the entrepreneurial DNA, right? We can't be micromanaged. We can't be told what to do every single minute because it's just not in our DNA. That's why we need to be free to be us. That's now it's not for everybody, right? And like I told you when I first found out that you went on your own, it's going to be one of the hardest things you've ever done, but one of the most rewarding if you see that through, right? And so nonprofit now where?
Then I just used all of my marketing from Saboba and Ramona Humane Society, and I worked for Brian Walker in Menifee, and I worked at RKR, a marketing firm in Temecula.
Is that when I met you?
No,
okay,
not yet. And then that kind of all the marketing and small business, and then I started a company with a Chinese manufacturer, and that's when I met you.
That's where I met you. How long were you with them?
I was with them for just over a year.
Okay, so I want to really point some things out here. Her story is identical to so many successful entrepreneurs. They're trying to figure out why they're not fitting in, right? And maybe not your case, but for me, school, I did horrible, right? D's and F's, and never graduated high school. Left back in the second grade because it wasn't a fit for me. Right? I don't know how else to say it. It wasn't a fit for me. I never read one book from front to back. You know, if I had to do a book report, I'd either cheat I'd get some information from somebody, or I'd read the front and I'd read the back. Once I get introduced to personal development 17 years ago, I couldn't put books down, right? I couldn't stop learning because it actually meant something to me, and I could run with this the way I wanted to run with it. So would it be accurate? Did you know that you had this DNA in you? Could you identify it?
You know, you know when you have it, but it's such a scary thing to leave the comfort of providing for your family.
Right.
And I've never been afraid to work hard. I've never been afraid to commit. But the thing, and people will say that, well, maybe you're just not willing to work hard enough for your business or for what you. The thing is sometimes you have to be shoved in that corner, and then you just go for it.
You have to hit that bottom or whatever that is, right? And then you either go for it or you don't, right? You surround yourself with the right people. You knew you had this DNA. You knew that you weren't going to be a long-term fit, right, in anybody else's organization because of your personality. That's who you are. And what made you take this leap?
Brian Walker was probably one of the first ones to say, why aren't you just doing this on your own? And I looked at him because I can't do this. What? I can't do this. And I would say that I can't do this. I don't, what are you trying to, and so he kind of planted that seed. And then all the networking and the chambers, and then when I met you, Dave, and the whole crush the fear barrier, and I was just like, all right.
The universe
I mean, it just, when you just get fed a message, and my mom and my grandmother have always told me that I don't know why you just don't do this. I don't know why you just don't do
Okay,
this.
so here's what this tells me, right? And it's such a great thing to understand. All growing up, she was told that she can do anything she wants, whenever she wants, and when she does it, she's the greatest in the world, right? No, but that's very much. So, but somewhere along the line, your self-talk started to change.
Right.
Your inner self-talk said, when he said, Cyndi, you need to do this on your own, you go, I can't. Right? Where do you think that started to creep in?
Well, I've always been, my mom has always been my biggest fan, but I've always been my worst critic.
Okay, so you're pushing and pulling.
Yeah.
Okay, so you've been your worst critic. Let me ask you this. How important do you think self-talk is?
It is the epitome of make it or break it.
It's
You're in charge of what you're going to do.
It's the epicenter.
You always, the thing is you give a lot of positive, you give us charge of what we want to do. And the thing is we have to decide we're going to do this for us. We have to decide that it's okay to be successful. It's okay to win. It's okay to try on your own, and maybe it doesn't work, but you know what? You gave it a shot. You're in charge of you, and
right.
You have to be in control of that thought process.
A few things I want to touch on because this is great. I knew this episode was going to go this way because I know you, but it's even better than I thought. So, really, self-talk, everything, right? It's your inner coach. It builds and tears down your self-image. We talked about that. But you actually you kept telling yourself that I can't do it. Then you've got to a point where you said, I have to do this, right? I have to take that lead. Your family was in the right position to do that. Now, I know that we talked, right? Now, understand, make no mistake about her first statement when we first went on air. She got into her bit, she's starting her business, and she knows that she will be able to eventually, right, dictate her time a little differently than if you're working for somebody else. But I know that we had this conversation. At the end of the day, right, and this was one of your first, and if you don't care if I share, this is one of your first obstacles, right, that you had to get past, and it sounds like you did, and that's why we connect, because you're an action taker, right, is you were struggling with doing what needs to be done with your family, but also your business, right? And you felt like it was like, your business might have been on the back burner. Now, what I shared with you was you need to put your business on the front burner. Obviously, if it's an emergency, it's an emergency. I mean, that's different. But, like I said, because other people think that you have all this free time, right? You don't. You have less.
Yeah, it's actually a little more than that. Because when you brought that to my attention, it was all accountability. The thing is I was using it as
you know what? You're right. We talked about that because you said they're not allowing me to do what I have to do. And what did I say? You're not.
Yeah, you said I wasn't.
And she, right?
And it was absolutely true because they believe in me. They support me. We all make it happen together.
They just don't know what you need.
And I was scared to do what I need to do for the business. And I think that, if I just didn't have the time, then, it's because of my family or because I had something else to do.
Right.
And you put that accountability right back on me.
Okay.
And I accepted it. And the thing is I can do this. And I can do this with my family. And they are here to support me. And I can't create barriers because I was creating my own barriers.
Yes. You were.
And I don't have time for that.
So understand, once she realized that it was her, now, but here's the great thing with the type A personalities. We're back in the driver's seat.
Yeah.
Right? We're back in that driver's seat. We're taking control. And guess what? If we turn and we hit a curve, it's on us.
Yeah.
But if we keep going straight and we make that destination, it's also on us. So I know that you made changes, right? Because one of the things I said is if you were working for somebody and you had to take somebody to a doctor's appointment at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, you might not be able to. Right? Because that person you're working for has a business to run.
That's
right? Just like now, you have a business to run. So make no mistake, she is not getting into her own business because she thinks that she's going to sit by the pool and stir drinks, right? You know that, and I know that about you. So if anybody's getting into business thinking that, stay where you are.
Yeah.
It's not for you. This is a grind. This is one of the hardest things you're going to ever do in your life is be an entrepreneur. It is the scariest, one of the scariest things you're going to do, and it's one of the loneliest things you're going to do. And I'm telling you this to scare the hell out of you. Because if it's not for you, you want to know early on, right? But at the same time, I'm a big believer that when you take that action and you're moving forward, even if you're falling down, the people and the circumstances come in to make it happen. I happened to connect with. I saw your stuff. We didn't connect for a while. Then I saw your information on Lemki's Leverage on LinkedIn.
Mm-hmm.
I reached out. I said, "Did you start your own business?"
Yeah.
She goes, "I sure did." I said, "We got to get you on Monster Motivator
Yeah.
TV." She goes, "What?" Right? So, and then we got reconnected
Yeah.
because you started taking that action.
Yeah.
Right? The people and circumstances start to come into your life like those Tommies.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
They start
Yes.
to come into your life, and here's the other vital part of this, right? And I used to say this when I had my sports nutrition store. You can come in, I can give you the best meal plan, the best workout, but if you're not going to use it, it doesn't mean anything.
Right.
So I could share with you my honest feelings, pulled from my experience, but if you weren't willing to accept it,
Yeah.
if you left there and you had that choice, you could have left there and said, he doesn't know what he's talking about, or that's not true, he just doesn't know,
Right.
right? You wouldn't be where you are,
Mm-hmm.
right? So, and understand what I'm telling you, it doesn't mean that what everyone tells you, you have to accept. What I always say to people is, listen to your gut feeling, listen to your inner GPS, right? And take in what they tell you, whatever doesn't work, throw out and keep the rest. You know, that's honest. So I didn't know until right now how much you ran with that. I didn't realize how much you actually ran with that. So accountability, how important?
It's the only thing that is going to make or break your next step.
Okay, okay,
Because you can make excuses all day long for shit not getting done,
right,
but you have to be accountable for what you want to happen. You have to make sure that you're doing what you say you're going to do when you say you're going to do it, or be accountable for it not happening.
And here's what I always say in business, if we're going to talk real business and just right to the point, those excuses, they ain't getting you to the deposit limit.
No.
I mean, that's the bottom line, right? They're not getting you there. But I have to say, she brought on her first client yesterday, signed him up, right? And now it's just a matter of just keep moving forward. And here's the other thing, is when we get done this episode, we're heading right from here down to San Diego to a business networker. See, it's whatever it takes. Whatever it takes. I will be up tomorrow morning at a live podcast from my office at 6 a.m., right? What my publisher for my book said, hey, I got this podcast, can you do it at 6 a.m.? I said, let's make it happen, right? Whatever it takes to make it happen. And what I love about your story is your family now is taking all the excuses away. They're supporting you, right? You don't have
My
that.
husband built me my own desk and
See,
I have my own workspace.
I never met him, I love him. You know why? Because now what he's saying, they're all saying to you, is it's you,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Now you have no excuses. Let's get it done. But that doesn't mean that she's not going to fall down. That doesn't mean you're not going to have major life lessons. But and you touched on this earlier. You said, find the courage to move forward. If it didn't work, at least you tried. Here's how I look at it, right? I look at decisions that I'm going to make, personal or professional, and especially professional, is I'm going to do this. I'm going to be both feet in. I'm jumping off the cliff and building a plane on the way down. If it doesn't work the way I completely expected it, I ask myself two questions. If I die tomorrow, would I regret not doing it? And if my answer is yes, I'm good. If I die tomorrow, would I regret doing it? And my answer is no. And I can honestly say that and look in the mirror. Now it's behind me. Now I'm good, right? I'm good. So I know you well enough to know that the journey you're taking, you can actually say that to yourself. I need to do this. This is something I need to do.
Yeah.
So as a mom, as a wife, as a daughter, as a granddaughter, and as a grandma, you have more hats, right? How do you get to the point of putting yourself first? How do you do that?
I don't think you ever do that as on any of those things. I think that you...
Well, not as those titles, but no, what I'm saying in the business, in other words, you had to say, listen, I might not be able to...
Well, because it's not for me, it's for all of us.
Okay, so share that. That's your thought. So in other words, you're leaning back on your why.
Yeah, because the thing is if I can, I have gotten some really great job offers. There's some things out there that I can go and try to get right now, but I'm not going to be able to take care of my family. I'm not going to be able to do all these things that I need to do. So this is my why. And we all have that same buy-in. You know, the thing is we all know why I'm doing this.
And let me share this with you. And again, take what works, throw out the rest. I remember hearing Tony Robbins talk about happiness. Now, I can say to you, Cyndi, or 100 people, right? What is happiness? And there are going to be 99 different explanations. This is the only one that really hit home for me. Happiness is directly tied in to fulfillment. See, when you feel fulfilled, you're happy because you're filling your glass, you're filling your cup. So my take, if I can go there, my take is no matter how good these job offers are, eventually you're not fulfilled.
Right.
So this journey now not only ties in your family, but ties in your fulfillment.
Yes.
Now it just takes her why to a whole nother level. And the reason that I wanted to bring that up is not everyone was going to get that, right? And I wasn't sure that you got it.
Yeah.
No, and I don't mean. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Does that fit?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I mean, that's what I see looking from the outside in. And understand something. It's so easy to see from the outside in. It's so hard to see the picture inside the frame. That's why you didn't see the accountability, right?
Right.
Because it's so hard to see the picture inside the frame. Same with me. I have people that I count on that are saying, you know what? No. This is really how it is, right? This is the reality, because a lot of times we live with the funhouse mirrors, right? We think that it's this way, but it's really that way. So before we jump off, is there anything that you want to share that I didn't talk about, that I didn't touch on, that you want to share? Because there's people out there that are trying to break through these fear barriers. There's people out there that are in your shoes, before you went on your own, right? Single mom, trying to raise a family, has to pay the bills, right? A dad, single dad, right? That has the kids, working full time, or a family that's just trying to figure it out.
I think that we have to stop looking for magic pills, magic book,
Love it.
and the next best way you're going to do it overnight. I think what you need to do is just do it. You just have to do it. You couldn't make it any more simpler by your plane and jumping or whatever you say. You got to build
jump off the cliff and build a plane on the way down. Okay, so also what you're saying is, in the very beginning, when it scares you and excites you at the same time, you don't even know the how.
Right.
You can't.
No.
So don't worry about the how as long as the why is big enough. And I think your why just got even bigger, which excites me, because now, again, I'm a huge fan, because I know what you could do. And not only that, is you're doing it. In other words, you do what you say you're going to do when you say you're going to do it. And that's what separates, those people separate themselves from the masses, because most don't. That's just the bottom line, right? So where can we find you? How do we find you?
You can go to lemkisleverage.com.
Lemkisleverage.com.
Yes, lemkisleverage.com. You can call my cell, because I do now work nights, weekends, holidays, and everything that I need to do.
Hey, you wanted to get away from retail.
951-282-1617, or again, lemkisleverage.com.
Okay, so when we get off, she's the marketing girl, so she's going to do her part. She's going to share this to all the groups, share it to her Facebook. Her people are going to share it. Anybody that's getting value, please share this this video. Before we jump off, I know I mentioned it earlier, but I don't know how many people were on that early, is Monster Motivator TV. We're here to give back to the community. We want to highlight business owners, entrepreneurs, nonprofits that are making a difference in the community in the SoCal area right now. We're going to go with this nationwide, but right now it's in SoCal. We come to you. It's a live stream TV show that's going to highlight and share your story, because at the end of the day, it's all about who you are. They want to know who you are, and they want to get to know you behind the curtain. That's where the real power comes in. If you have any trouble getting in touch with Cyndi, reach out to me. I know where to find her. So thank you guys for jumping on. I think before we jump off, there might be one question.
Okay.
So let's, and I have to get a little close here. So most of our planes are made of duct tape and cardboard and feathers.
Yeah,
You know,
they're made.
absolutely. April, that's my girl April. Hi April, thanks for jumping on. George Elias, that's George, that's our video guy, great guy. I call him G for short. Thank you guys for jumping in, and we're gonna share this. If you have any questions for Cyndi after, just type it in. She's not hard to find. And if you're looking to maximize your marketing, your branding, let her at least come out and give you a free evaluation and see where you are and see how she can help you. Or if she can, she might know people that can. So Monster Motivator TV, thank you guys for tuning in. We're going to see you on the next episode on Friday. Keep making it happen.